Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga. Sloka 62, Part 2. Tameva śaraṇaṁ gaccha, sarva-bhāvena bhārata, tat-prasādāt parāṁ śāntiṁ, sthānaṁ prāpsyasi śāśvatam. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata lineage, tameva, only that indweller, sarva-bhāvena, in all respects, śaraṇaṁ gaccha, surrender, take refuge in, tat-prasādāt, through his grace, parāṁ śāntiṁ, attain peace, meaning be freed from all the bondages of karma, śāśvatam sthānaṁ, the eternal abode, prāpsyasi, you will attain. O descendant of Bharata, take refuge, surrender unto that Paramatma alone with all your facilities. By his grace, mercy, you will attain transcendental peace and a supreme and eternal abode. If we notice in the sloka, Krishna is speaking about himself as a third person. Surrender unto that Lord, and Krishna says, by that Lord's mercy, he will be able to attain peace and the eternal abode. This is similar to the previous sloka where Krishna mentioned Ishvara sarva-bhūtānaṁ, and this is how Krishna is going to speak in next few slokas until we get to 65th sloka and the final instruction on the 66th sloka, where he himself points directly. Therefore, we have to make the connection from what we are reading now to the sloka that's coming up later. So, that which is mentioned here is none other than Krishna himself. And Krishna does speak like this in several places in the previous chapters as well. So this is something not new. But by now, as a student of Bhagavad Gita, we should know that it is Krishna who is himself pointing as a third person. Here is an interesting question. If it is Krishna who is spinning us in this machine called body, then why should I go to him to surrender? Why shouldn't I go to someone who doesn't spin us in this material world? Simple example. If we are being troubled by someone, we don't go to that troubling person to get out of the troubles. We need to approach someone else who's not troubling us. Whereas here, it is quite interesting to know that in the previous sloka, Krishna clearly stated, Brahmayan sarva-bhūtāni yantrārūಢāni māyaya. I spin them around in this prakriti. If he is the one who's spinning us around in this prakriti, then why would I go to him? Why should I surrender unto him? Well, the answer for that was in the first half of the previous sloka. Ishvara sarva-bhūtānaṁ hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Because he is the one who is situated in our heart, in everyone's heart. We may go to anyone else other than Krishna for help, but it is the same Krishna, Paramatma, who is situated in that person whom we are seeking shelter from. Even if it is Brahma, who is in the highest position among the Devatas, it is Krishna who is present within the heart of Brahma as well. That means whatever Krishna does for us, he does the same thing to Brahma as well. Knowing this truth, how can we go and take shelter of anyone else other than Krishna? Krishna cannot be removed from the picture. So rather indirectly surrendering to Krishna, it is better surrender to Krishna directly. That is what mentioned here as tameva. only unto Him, by surrendering unto Him, we can get some help. Another point is, only He can give moksha. No one else can give moksha. Tameva. Others can help us in this material world for our survival, but no one can help us to be free from this material world other than Krishna alone. Tameva, only Lord Vasudeva, who is a ruler of all beings, who is right now seated as a charioteer in front of Arjuna, out of love for him, resides within his heart. And this is true in all our cases. It is simply out of his compassion, out of his love for us, he is within us. So there is no one who should feel bad that they are alone. It is just we are not realizing that someone is within us. That reveals Krishna's two very important qualities, Paratvam and Saulabhyam. Paratvam means his greatness. Saulabhyam means his easy accessibility. If someone is great, we cannot easily approach them. If we can approach them easily, then most probably they are not great. When we speak about great, we are speaking about the position of the person. I am not great by any position, like the President of United States. Therefore, I am easily accessible. The President of United States is great by his position, but not easily accessible. When it comes to Krishna, he has both of these wonderful qualities, Paratvam and Saulabhyam. He is great and he is accessible. That great Supreme Lord who is in the spiritual world is within us, is right in front of Arjuna for the ease of accessibility. He was accessible to Arjuna. Well, he is present within our heart, but doesn't seem to be easy to access, which is very true. Therefore, the same Supreme Lord descended in his deity form, Archa Vigraha, in all the temples. Therefore, Arjuna, take refuge, surrender unto that Lord, that is Vasudeva, which is myself. You don't need to go multiple places to get assistance. In our daily dealings, if we have to get a work done, normally we need to go to many people to move the coin to get our work done. For example, if we have to get a driving license, we need to know the driving school. But knowing the driving school or the teacher who teaches us driving will not get us driving license from the license officer, because we also need to know who the officer is. Just knowing officer is not going to help us to get us trained in driving. This is just a simple example where we can understand we need to know multiple people to get our work done. But in case of Krishna consciousness, it is not multiple people. It is just one, all in all, that is Krishna. If we have to overcome the power, the strength of vasanas, it is Krishna to whom we have to surrender. If we have to attain a spiritual world, moksha, it is Krishna whom we have to surrender. It is quite inappropriate to say this way, but we are in this material world, therefore easy for us to understand. Therefore, we are giving this example. Krishna is like Amazon. You can get anything from him. If you want moksha, he gives. If you want material benefits, he gives. He can give anything, but for his devotees, he gives what is best for them. not that what they want, but what they need for their spiritual progress. Therefore, coming to our point, it is not that we take shelter from someone else to overcome the vasana bhalam and then surrender to Krishna to attain moksha. That is not the way it works. We surrender to Krishna to overcome the strength of vasanas, and that same Krishna, the Supreme Lord, will give us moksha as well. Why? Because only He can give liberation, no one else. By we shopping around, going to different devatas, we are simply wasting our time. Surrendering means considering everything to be Krishna, the means and goal to be Krishna. But that is not the case with any other path that we take. If you want to become an engineer, the means or the education. If you want to find a job, then having a degree is a mean. If I want to have a monthly salary, then job is the means. If I want to buy a house and cars, then money becomes the means. But in the process of sharanagati, the upaya, the means and the goal, upayam, are one and the same, that is Krishna. For karma yogis, varnashrama dharma is upayam and atma sakshatkara is upayam. For jnana yogis, dhyana nishta is upayam and atma sakshatkara is upayam. For bhakti yogis, bhakti yoga nishta is upayam and Bhagavan Sri Krishna is upayam. For sharanagatas, Krishna is upayam and Krishna is upayam. There is no confusion in sharanagati. This will be revisited when we get to 66th sloka. Krishna also mentions here how one must surrender. Sarva-bhāvena, that is, with your mind totally in Krishna in all manner. Vasudheva sarvamiti sa mahatmasu durlabha. Krishna already mentioned in 7th chapter 19th sloka that He is everything. One who understands is said to be Mahatma, and such Mahatma is sudurlabha, very, very rare to find. Such person sees Krishna's presence in everything within himself. He knows Krishna is the means, Krishna is the goal, Krishna is his life, Krishna is everything for him. Sarva-bhāvena, looking upon him as a protector by means of advice and other things. This happens only if we give up our independent nature. Krishna says this because Arjuna desires to give up fighting. He doesn't want to fight. Rather, what Krishna is telling Arjuna to give up is not the fighting but swatantriya, the idea of being independent from Krishna, but to accept paratantriya, which is a true nature of Atma, Swarupa, of the soul, to be dependent on the Supreme Lord. In our next session, we will learn what is the result if we accept our dependency and what is the result if we accept the independency. In today's session, we learned how there is only one person who can save us and who can give us moksha, and that is Krishna alone. Namaste, Hare Krishna.